Welcome to this week's Down Home with Tina show. I have got coming up a young lady from the Bremen-Rushville area. She is doing some really cool things. Folks, if you have a cat problem or anything like that that might be going on in your neighborhood, you're going to want to just stick around to hear with what she has to say. She's doing some really great things. She's got great advice. And the cool thing, right after I have her coming on, I have Corey Schoonover with Fairfield Area Humane Society and a pleasant surprise that he has brought along with him just to, I guess surprise me, because sometimes he doesn't surprise me, and it was a really cool surprise. So anyways, stick around for the surprise. I'll be back. It's Down Home with Tina.
My name is Allie. I just became 14 years sober at the end of last month. Through the support of my family and friends, I got the courage to ask for help. And through treatment services and the recovery community, I was able to start my recovery journey. Now I get to work as a peer supporter and an addiction treatment navigator, where I get to help the next sick and suffering. If you don't have family and friends that can support you right now, you can find those supports through treatment providers, the recovery community, and peer supporters like me. Every life matters, and your recovery is worth it.
This message is brought to you by the Fairfield County Adam H. Board.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. I have a young woman by the name of Lauren McMahon. She is the founder of an organization in her community, which I'm hoping that she inspires some of you to do the same kind of thing that she's doing, because I like cats. I do. But they can get out of control really quickly. Absolutely. So it is called Falcon Country Cat Community.
Awesome, nailed it. Yes.
Thank you. Yes. So Lauren, will you share with folks a little bit as to why you decided to have an organization, a volunteer organization such as this?
Yeah, so I grew up in Bremen and Rushville areas in the Falcon Country, and I grew up always having cats around, always. I thought it was the coolest thing in the world as a kid. But as I grew older, I went to school and I noticed some of the same issues. I went, oh, there's an overpopulation problem. I started feeding cats and learned about trap, neuter, release in Columbus, actually.
Okay.
Moved back home and went, okay, this is a really big problem where I'm from. And I noticed that there was some hostile feelings about kind of the overpopulation. And so I wanted to take what I learned in Columbus about trap, neuter, release and apply it to my home community. And I learned a lot. And I've learned a lot since then.
So it's not just your community, and even I know the Lancaster area and certain parts of Lancaster, even the little area that I live in, there's cats that are, and I have learned just, and this was from, and I've got a great relationship with Corey Schoonover, the executive director of the Fairfield Area Humane Society. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that, your involvement with them and everything. But he taught me that cats will spray outside of your house, especially if you have a cat on the inside that's not been spayed. Right. Yes, the male cats will, and they will both spray. Yes. The ones inside will begin to spray, and then on the outside, which those are those cats that are the stray cats, feral cats, and sometimes people have cats that are indoor-outdoor cats. Right. And they are going to do the same thing. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I know some people that laugh and say some cats have multiple homes.
Right. Because they like to go and they like to socialize and do all those things. And it's, it definitely contributes sometimes to overpopulation if they're not properly taken care of. But I definitely have seen those cats and went, hey, you're getting fed in multiple places, aren't you? You have a few friends.
Now sometimes they'll go in their house like they're their cat. It's hilarious. So those indoor-outdoor families that have those cats, they do the same thing. It really is kind of a funny thing, because I'm like, those cats are pretty. They're pretty smart, sneaky little cats.
They are.
And that's another thing about them, Lauren. You don't see them out and about so often. do you?
I don't. Yeah. No, they're finding places to go. They're finding places to be safe. And then when they want to, repopulate or get their food, that's when they're moving around. And so we have to be very, very diligent when we're catching them and when we set traps and where we're setting traps. It's very, have to be very mindful and paying attention all throughout the week, all coming up to our trap dates, where has such and such seen a cat, where can I place food, where I'm going to be able to get this cat, feeding schedules. There's certain times where a cat will know that that's a trap and I've never seen that before, and there's maybe some food there, but I've never been in this area, so I'm not going to go into that trap. So I have families that will feed in certain areas for me over and over again, so they get more acquainted to that, and it's easier to trap them. But otherwise, they are very smart, so they know what to watch out for. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
What is it that your mission is with your program? Obviously, I know it's to trap, neuter, release.
Right.
That piece of it. But what are some of the others? I
definitely want to educate. That's part of my reason for coming on here, is just kind of spreading the awareness of what's kind of going on, that, it can be a problem, but what we do about it is the solution. And it's, we do have to take action as far as taking care of the cat population, and it is up to us, because otherwise, cats are cats, so they're going to do what they want to do. But there is a solution, and it involves us. So education and just making sure that there's a healthy population of cats as well. So, a lot of these overpopulated cat communities have a lot of health concerns, and I've seen some of those issues too.
And Lauren, it's one person that can have one cat that it can get out of control rather quickly, can it?
Spread a lot. Yeah, absolutely. So it takes every single cat as a victory to me. Absolutely.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the trap, neuter, release, how that works.
So it started a couple years ago through the Humane Society, that they did get county funding so that they were able to do the trap, neuter, release program. And I had a conversation with Corey. I sat down in his office and he went, so, and you've talked to him, he's very straightforward, and he goes, so what is this? What are you doing? Is it a school project? What's going on? What are you trying to do? And I was like, well, listen, I know what's been going on. I know that there's a huge problem. I've been reaching out to a lot of people, and basically I've been motivated to make my own group, try to get some community support behind me, and try to make this a thing. And I think that we can work together. And he said, absolutely we can. I need you to basically take care of your area over there. I have my area over here. If you can rally support in those Fairfield Union, Bremen, Rushville, Pleasantville areas, I need it, because I can't get out there. And so I said, okay, I can do that. I can absolutely do that. So that's kind of how that started between me and him.
And so you work together hand in hand with the trap, neuter, release, because do you do the trap and then they do the neutering and then the release part of it? Is that how that works?
Basically, I've had to just schedule with them. They've varied their dates as far as when they're able to do it. They've grown a lot. Sometimes they've gone down in size just because of vet constraints. But basically, I schedule through them. I tell them, hey, I'm going to set this many traps, and I'm shooting for this number. And if you can get me on and have me ready to go on Fridays or Wednesdays, I'll bring you the cats. And they say, okay, let's do it. So I go out and I talk with the people in my community where we need help, where they've seen the cats, like my families that I've talked about that help feed and set feeding schedules. And I go out and I set the traps, and I throw them all in my car, and I get them to the Humane Society. Sometimes I'm making multiple trips back and forth. Sometimes I'm recruiting my volunteers, my family members that go, oh, Lauren. But that's what I do, and I take them, and I have a great relationship with the Humane Society.
It can be a negative thing when people think of the cat lady, but this is a positive, and that's what you're really working on doing, is getting other men, women, children, or anybody involved to help you out with this. What all are you needing from the community and volunteers and such like that? As
I kind of talked about with the schedule changing at the Humane Society, there's a lot of stress and constraints on vets and the individuals that work medically. So that schedule changes a lot as far as trap, neuter, release. So I am, a grad student, and I do different things. So trying to schedule and get the cats there is not always the easiest for me. I'm doing multiple things. So kind of collaborating with the people that need and see the need for help really helps. So kind of just my outreach and saying, hey, I really could use the help, setting these traps in your space, and maybe could you help me, communicate and get the cats to where they need to go if it's on your property or whatnot and what have you. Food is always super beneficial. The cats love the tuna and everything else. So that, because it is all volunteer. So anything I set out in the traps is coming from me or my donators. I do have donators as well.
And Lauren, you're not speaking in just your area, right? Are you speaking out in other areas as well to maybe make it a broader thing in their own communities as well? Or maybe even teach them that this is what you're doing to help?
And I try, and I will say our Humane Society in our county is amazing. Some other counties don't always have as much support just as far as funding and whatnot, but I do try very hard to educate others, and maybe they're outside of our county, so we can't always trap and bring them back to the Fairfield County Humane Society, but just telling them what all they can do and how I can help, but the part that they play as well.
I don't want to speak for Corey, and I know he's going to be on here shortly, but I know he is a firm believer in working together, because it's helping them to have one or more less cats coming through to the Humane Society. You do a foster program as well? What's that about? Yeah, so there's the people that reach out to me and they go, hey, I know you've been working with cats. I started out just trap, neuter, release, but I started getting these messages like, hey, I have this cat, he's super nice, but I don't know what to do with him, or he went through your trap, neuter, release program. I think he's doing a lot better now. He's not straying as much. He's settled down. We have those success stories where they've been through trap, neuter, release. We see their little ear tip and they go, hey, I think this cat really would love a home, but I don't know what to do with him. So I do often take them in, or as much as I can. Maybe there's a litter of kittens and this lady's going, I don't know what to do with the litter of kittens. The mom ran away, or whatever the case may be. I think I've been helping with cats a lot, so I've learned a little bit more than maybe some other people. So I do try to take them in and get them rehomed. So a part of my program now is rehoming and fostering, and I do use my outreach to reach other families. Posting on Facebook. If you're just one person, you might reach your friends, but my community has really grown to people who love and understand animals and want to help take them in. So. Very, very, very nice. And I know also with Corey, and I haven't talked to him, again, we're going to find out today, they're full a lot with cats. I mean, that's even more so, I believe, than the dogs and puppies and things like that. And I don't know, but I think kitten season is every season. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Right. Yeah, it never ends, does it? Yeah. When do we stop saying kitten season? We don't. So what is your contact information for anybody that is interested in maybe being a volunteer or helping to spread the program into their own community? Yeah, so our program is on Facebook, Falcon Country Cat Community. You can search there, and then you can message me through that page, and we can get in contact there. So, thank you so much, thank you Lauren, so much, Tina. Everything. This is huge as what she's doing in the community, because I know it is everywhere. Yeah, yes, absolutely. They don't discriminate. Cats do not discriminate. Right. Thanks, Lauren. Folks, don't go anywhere. I'll be back in just a few minutes. It's Down Home with Tina.
You walked down the aisle and promised happily ever after. Sometimes happily ever after means ending a relationship. We know the conversations are not easy. Deciding what's best for you, your children, and your next steps takes work and communication. At Dagger Law, we know there are no monsters in a divorce, only people trying to find their way. Local, trusted, experienced. Dagger Law.
We want everyone to feel comfortable and safe, that you pick up that phone, you make that phone call, and let us just guide you and lead you where you want. And then you can make an informed decision about what's best for you and your family.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. So excited to have Corey Schoonover. He is the Executive Director of the Fairfield Area Humane Society. And I'm super excited because he surprised me today. I usually have to ask, and sometimes he can't do it. But today, I'm surprised with a litter of puppies. And we were talking all about cats and things like that. And I know in the past, Corey, you had mentioned because there can be problems with cats. Lauren McMahon was on earlier in the show, and she's just doing a great thing to help people, educate them. And I told somebody else today, I was like, it's so great because when it's not Corey and it's not me and it's somebody out in the community doing it and they are coming on and they actually had asked if they could come on and be on the show, which I love that when I'm asked from somebody that's doing such good positive in the community, especially for when cats, because cats, it just gets out of control so quickly. How many cats do you guys have go through in 1 year? And are you always full with cats? That's why it's nice to be able to have somebody to help like this.
Well, and Lauren is great. She participates in our TNR program, and when you're talking about the number of cats we deal with, it's always a constant flow. I think we'll get into it a little bit in terms of just the situation with animal welfare in general currently. But yeah, I mean, the cat stuff and TNR has been proving to make a difference. Like, we're only like halfway through May, but we're usually overwhelmed with newborn kittens and things like that. But like the TNR program that we offer, and then what Lauren's trying to do in Bremen and the Rushville area has really started to make a noticeable impact in terms of our numbers. So don't get me wrong, we're still full, but we're not having to turn away so many people.
Yes. Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, it does. Yeah. Because it gives you the opportunity to help people they can't do. Yeah. And
I
help
think
the cats.
we've done.
Lauren can help the cats.
I think we've done. I just did an updated number. I think we've done almost 270 stray feral cat surgeries this year already.
Wow.
Yeah.
And barely the end of May.
Yep.
Wow. That's pretty cool. Well, and I know you've got the puppies and stuff, but I know for things to help deter the cats, mothballs you can put in your flower beds, things like that.
Yeah.
If you have an inside cat, make sure you get it spayed or neutered, right? Because that will help as well to keep from other cats coming around and spraying your house, correct?
Yep.
That's
I think
huge.
If, you know what, we need to get more people involved. There's plenty of people that are willing to make a phone call and say, hey, I have this problem. Will you take care of it?
Yeah.
I'm kind of more into the, let me help you take care of it, in terms of let's participate together and kind of take care of the situation. So yes, your indoor cat, spay or neuter, that's going to take care of a lot of problems. And it's going to take care of a lot of problems if you have outdoor cats, and we need to get them fixed too. So there's plenty of options out there to help you, whether it's from us or from someone else.
Yep. Yeah, there are. So now we're going to talk about puppies.
We can talk about puppies and how cute they are, and you should still
How
spay and neuter your dog as well. These guys are cute. I should probably grab one out, otherwise it looks like I don't like them.
No, you're good.
No, you're good?
Yeah, I'll take them all.
I like you got the pee pad. If they pee on me, I'm gonna be upset all day.
Right? If they
I'm
on
just
me.
kidding.
No.
These
but this
guys,
one's pretty active. Like,
yeah.
he's
So
just
they're
having
only,
a ball. He's going to take a nap in a minute.
They're only 4 weeks old, so it's, you know how that goes. Peeing, pooping, and sleeping, and eating.
Chew on my wrist.
Interesting story. So they're super cute, but these guys were brought to us they're 4 weeks old. We've been bottle feeding them. The lady that brought them to us said she found them in a box off to the side of the bike path. So if that's the case, and they were probably about 2 days old, still had their umbilical cords attached. So I think that's why I kind of bring up we need to work together, because it's this day and age, it's still shameful, the right word. I'm disappointed that there's still people out there that
Are doing
stuff like that. You know, putting them in a box, you know, that's one, that's not cool. Two, we probably could have avoided the whole situation. There's resources available. So, you know, at the Humane Society, we've talked about it. Yeah,
because who fed them to health?
Yeah.
Because if they didn't have any mother,
well, and you know they had a mom.
Right, but
just no one wanted to deal with it. So I have our shelter manager, Gabby's been raising these guys and bottle feeding them, and you know, it's just another thing on top of what we're trying to to accomplish. And don't get me wrong, this is part of what we're here for, but this isn't...
That's a lot of work.
Yeah. And it reduces so whether you're talking about puppies or kittens, you take them away from mom, it reduces their chances of living and then even, they might live, but actually thriving. Kittens is real bad this time of year. Someone runs across, maybe mom had a litter of kittens in your yard or near your house, and you're not going to see mom. She's not going to sit there. She doesn't sit on, Same thing with this time of year is baby season regardless, right? So baby bunnies, birds, all that.
The deer.
But mom's not always hanging around, so you got to leave them be, especially in a situation where they're so young. Like these guys, their eyes don't open until they're about 2 weeks old. So you can get an idea. No eyes open, they're definitely younger than 2 weeks old. And then there's obviously that progression in age. But
when will these be available for adoption?
So as long as they remain on the right track, once they hit 8 weeks old, and if they're over 2 pounds, then we do pediatric spay and neuter, and then they'll be ready for adoption. So
this one's just enjoying himself. I think she, I don't even know. Oh, yep.
I don't even know. There's a couple boys and a couple girls. This one just wants to sleep.
I got a boy. I go take another one. This one doesn't. This one wants to play. You're going to come up on my shirt and play? Do they have names yet?
They do.
They do.
I didn't name them, so we're clear.
Okay. Yes. And every dog or cat has a name that goes through the Humane Society. Hi, Precious.
That is also
hi. And they get spayed or neutered, right? They get.
So that one's Zozo.
Zozo.
This one is. Let me make sure. This one's Bearsy.
And you're not sure of the breed.
And no, I think we need to give them a few more weeks to kind of have them develop and see. But yeah.
Do they get good socialization? Are they still being fostered?
Yeah.
Okay,
because they're just now transitioning over to wet food.
Okay.
You ever seen a wet food paste all over a litter of puppies? It's kind of, these guys got bathed before. This is a super treat for you today, Tina.
I know, I'm so excited.
Every time she asks me, can you bring a puppy? I'm like, no.
And then he brings the litter of puppies. Yes. Hi. So this one is...
That one's Zozo.
Zozo is going to be up for adoption. Zozo's going to bite my nose.
So we got a few weeks, but spay and neuter.
For a couple weeks, yes. Which this will be...
We like puppies.
Yes.
Spay and neuter.
Yes.
Because there's too many right now.
Oh, please do. Yes, please. If you plan on getting a cat or dog, please. If it's not from the Humane Society, which we do hope that you do choose one from there, please get it spayed or neutered. Save the funds.
I feel like we're distracted.
I'm so distracted today.
Dude, what are we talking about?
How can you not be distracted?
Yeah.
I just did a puppy hour.
We're just here to show the puppies. So I bring up the spay and neuter. We're busy with that. That's a service that we offer, right? We have the Rascal unit twice a month. We also do it in-house in our vet clinic. And then this time of year, adoptions are slow. We're full. We still have people asking to surrender their pets, and we really want to encourage people to, consider the lifetime commitment. I think with everything that we try and do, and then we had a surrender form today that has just stuck with me and it's bothered me since this morning. An 11-year-old dog, and the reason is they just don't feel like they have enough time anymore. And
after 11 years.
And I don't know. It wasn't like their situation changed.
Yeah.
We lost our house. Things happen.
Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to shame anyone, but
I know, but
do you think that it's better that you have spent a little less time with your dog of 11 years, or it sits in a shelter?
Right.
Hoping for a home. It doesn't make sense to me.
With that being said, there are cute and adorable puppies, but there are adult dogs that are needing a loving home until their last day. And that's,
And we have such a great mix of dogs right now, small dogs, big dogs, obviously puppies, the puppy wing's full. So when they become available, they pop on the website.
Fairhumane.org.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is what you want to.
Okay, well, he went back to sleep.
He did. He worked himself up.
She never
Best
really
little
woke
blanket
up.
for a puppy. Couldn't chew it up or anything. And as they get older, I'm sure they could chew that up good. But yes.
This one has it right, though.
Playful little puppy.
Yeah.
I could do this all day. Babies and puppies.
I know. I still don't.
As long as I give them back, just because I can't have that many. You know what I mean. I can't.
Kids can have one more. There's always room for one more, folks.
Always.
Fairhumane.org. There's always room for one more. Maybe that should be our new slogan.
There's always room for one more.
Always. Didn't like Lay's potato chips come up with the whole?
I have no idea. You can't take somebody else.
You can't eat just one more.
Oh, you can't.
Or you can't only eat one. I don't. Something like that, right?
There's always room for one more.
But there's always room for one more.
Why not?
Yeah.
Just have to decide on the size, because we want you to take it and get it if it's the right one for you.
Force the issue.
I'm going to say yes. It's always room for one more if it fits for the family.
Okay.
Okay.
It ruins my sales pitch, but yes.
Please, fairhumane.org. Check out the dogs. They'll go fast. If you're interested in one of these little babies, please check them out. It's Down Home with Tina.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. Down Home with Tina is brought to you by these amazing sponsors. So folks, if you noticed I'm a little tanner than what I usually am tan, it is because I had the opportunity to take my daughter and go on a trip with also a couple of family members. It was a lot of fun. It was actually my very first cruise ever. So in an upcoming, I'm hoping to get it soon, episode, I would like to share with you some tips on some things to do and what not to do and what to expect when you go on your first cruise. But as far as today, I just wanted to share a couple of pictures. This is one thing that I wanted to get on because it was awesome. I've always wanted to have and swim with dolphins and have an encounter with dolphins. So I have my daughter, and it was the coolest thing because we got to actually be in the midst of them. And the one thing I want to say is take water shoes. That's one tip I'll tell you now. Because when you get into where we were, the pool of the water, it was kind of nasty on the bottom of it because it was like a cardboard. Think about, like, not cardboard, I'm sorry, plywood that's been there for a while under the water. Yeah, no. Anyways, it was pretty awesome. The pictures are a lot of fun. It was a great time. So I really encourage that if you get a chance to book something like that, I will, again, share more with you in an upcoming episode, but today I'm just going to leave it with just that. Congratulations to my upcoming seniors in their graduating, and have a safe one. Enjoy your week. God bless, and good day. It's Down Home with Tina.